Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video on this channel. Today we're talking about my top 3 tarantulas which live arboreally, and we're just starting right now. So of course we're also showing you some exclusive footage of a tarantula species we just recently found in their natural living space. So make sure you stay all until the end to get the whole enjoyment of this video. Starting this episode off with Poecilotheria metallica, the P. metallica Guti sapphire something blue tarantula, and the common name. It's a tarantula from India, more precise in the central area of India. And yeah, of course it has to be in this video because of their blue coloration. There is no explanation needed. The reason why it is featured in this video specifically is the fact that Andrew Smith and Guy Tensley is showing this species in their natural habitat in a few weeks probably, because they were on site filming this tarantula. So make sure you head over to Andrew Smith's channel, lovetarantula.com, and there you see a short teaser about their recent trips to India to showcase this tarantula. More precise, Poecilotheria metallica makes also great beginner species. It was in fact my second tarantula I got when I started with this hobby like 15 years ago or so. So it makes a great species to start with, even though they're of course a bit skittish, and of course it's an arboreal old world species, meaning they have all the features you don't really want when you start off with a tarantula. So make sure you do your homework, make sure you do your research, so you know that they can't jump if they want to because it's an arboreal tarantula, and their venom, you have to consider it as significantly impactful to humans, so make sure you don't get bitten. After the fact, it's an extremely nice species of tarantula because you can also keep them communally. That's what I will do in the future. And of course, at the moment we're trying to breed them. They're sitting on the top shelf tank here in a 11 by 18 something inches tank, so 30 by 40 by 40 centimeters. Quite a big tank. At the moment, a single female with an adult male inside. So far we've not been able to document the mating ritual of them, but maybe we'll get them on camera in the future. So for now, just some shots of the adult female displaying its new color because it's freshly molted, and that's why we're also featuring it in this list. So my second most favorite tarantula, it's in fact a whole genus, namely Avicularia. So I know there is a lot of talk going on in Facebook groups that all the Avicularia keepers are in fact the idiots in the hobby. But nevertheless, Avicularia is an awesome genus because not only they're great to start with, but they comes in so many different colors and sizes that it's just fun to keep them. More precise, it's even more fun to look for them in nature because it's a huge arboreal spider. When you're in the forests within Peru or Colombia or Ecuador looking for tarantulas, most of the time terrestrial ones, you occasionally get to see Avicularia species down there. In fact, it's hard to get them to see on a natural object, such as a tree or something, and not like a human built structure, because most of the Avicularias in the wild are easily to find in a man-made structure, such as a toilet or something where they hide on. Because when there are human-made light sources, it attracts a lot of insects, and that's ideal for these arboreal tarantulas. The fact that one of my friends actually had a tarantula landing on their dining table when they were at the lodge in Colombia, I think it was. So you know that they just grab the moth in flight and then basically just land somewhere where they are able to eat them. So now just displaying one of the field clips we got, extremely nice tarantula from Colombia. It's a Avicularia juruensis morphotype of some sort. They grow extremely big, and of course you also have them in the pet trade. I'll show you some examples of Avicularia variegata. I have the Amazonican giant tarantula, which I haven't seen in nature yet, but I would really like to see them because in my opinion that's one of the most beautiful Avicularia species. But the ones we saw in Ecuador, for example Avicularia hirschi, truly amazing and really unique tarantula species. So watch out for any kind of Avicularia species because in my opinion they're one of the most favorite tarantulas out there, and they're ideal to keep. So when you're just starting with keeping pet tarantulas, make sure you check out our video about how we care for Avicularia spiderlings, especially how to raise them without significant loss in spiderlings. So here's the video link somewhere, so make sure you check that out. So when you enjoy arboreal tarantulas like I do, make sure you write down in the comment section arboreal tarantulas for the win, so we do know that we should produce more arboreal tarantula videos displaying actually the whole diversity of this group of tarantula spiders. And we have also some tarantulas from different continents, mainly arboreal ones, so that would be something for a future video. So coming to my probably third and most favorite tarantula at the moment, it has to be, of course, Typhochleina celadonia. I know it's a spider for women, it's a pretty girl spider because of the colors, but in the end I don't like it just because of the colors, but they're awesome and amazing lifestyle. It's in fact the only arboreal tarantula which builds a trapdoor on a cork bark when you give them the space to do. In fact, when you want to look for them in the wild, make sure to check out our videos because we've documented them and showing you how they live in the wild, exactly the same lifestyle as they have when you keep them as a pet tarantula. They make trapdoors and they are quite unique. So probably the whole genus Typhochleina does that. So there is more research going on in the future, but for now we do have Typhochleina celadonia in the hobby. Brazilian jewel tarantula, I don't know how you want to call this, extremely nice, but in fact it is within the subfamily of Aviculariinae, makes them kind of prone to high humidity problems when you keep for them. So the most important thing for this species is that they are able to build a trapdoor. So unlike other Avicularia or Iridopelma species from the very same subfamily, they need a cork bark, ideally with lichen on it, which they can shrub off the whole bark stuff so they can build the trapdoor structure. If they don't have this, they will die in no time. So keep considering when you get one, make sure you check out the videos we have on this channel, especially featuring on how to keep for this species. So make sure you get a captive bred Typhochleina celadonia. What I see in Facebook groups, there are several different XX from people around the world now, so they're bred now occasionally more often. The prices will drop soon probably, but now still a quite highly priced species, so keep that in mind when watching out for a Typhochleina celadonia to get. Just a short reminder that we have a Patreon page going on, and in fact we have revamped the whole structure of it. So at the moment we do have an exclusive website with blog posts and pictures exclusively for Patreon members. So when you're looking for the field trip stories and the pictures which we don't really want to have publicly in the internet somewhere, that's the place to go. So check out our Patreon page to learn more about our field trip stories, our projects, and in the end, of course, supporting us there. So of course this list is not carved in stone. I'll change my opinion about my favorite tarantulas somewhere all the time. That's the reason why my collection is growing extremely quick and has been extremely quickly growing in the past. So as a feature, as a bonus, we add another fourth favorite tarantula of arboreal ones. It's an old world species because so far, I came a little short in this video. So fourth species which belong to my favorite arboreal ones has to be Phormingochilus pennelhewletti, a species which was described around 4 or 5 years ago in 2015. Pennelhewletti, extremely nice arboreal species from the island of Borneo. And it's not a big species, so they grow not that big, but if you keep them, they're available now in the US, by the way. If you keep them as a pet, make sure you give them a lot of substrate. Other than that, they just feed a lot, eat a lot, and they have no problems in growing. You should not keep them at too high temperatures. So what I've heard is that ideal temperatures would be around 23, 24 degrees Celsius. So keep that in mind. And also substrate, I mentioned that already, because when we looked for a similar species of related genera, like Omothymos shiotai on the island in Malaysia, there we found the spiderlings like around 4 meters above the ground. So I don't really know why they prefer to have so much substrate and dig and live a forestorial lifestyle as juveniles, because the ones we saw in the wild, in nature, they tend to live on trees already when they're still very small. So keep that in mind, and if you want to get an impression on how to keep for an arboreal old world tarantula, check out our video on the channel. It's about finding Homothymos species on an island in Malaysia. And the next part is basically the end of the video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below if you haven't already. It would mean a lot to us. It would mean to encourage us more, to produce more content, and of course plan our next field trip and document our whole expedition a little bit better, just as we did on our videos for the field trips to Chile, for example. So that would be something you could binge watch through, like our first experience filming in front of the camera and behind the camera. So it was quite a start. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and see you guys next week.